What's up? It's April. Welcome to your Akashic Records rant. As you guys know, I'm an Akashic Records reader and intuition development teacher. And the whole point of me teaching people how to develop their intuition is to help them live a soul-led life. And I know we hear that term a lot, but living a soul-led life is easy. It's fun. It's creative. It helps us feel like we're in our spirit, our childlike essence. We know that we're being taken care of, so there's less fear, there's more joy, acceptance, bliss, conviction, trust, and confidence. Coming from a person that was highly unconfident and way too empathic for her own good, this work has helped me live a soul-led life while existing in the world. I used to be completely shut in, could barely speak to people. So this work is really imperative for highly sensitive, highly intuitive people, but it works for everybody. It works for everybody. I want to talk about today timelines. I want to talk about timelines today. Real quick, I just want to say that anything that is at a higher perspective or a higher vibration is not going to have any timelines within it. Timelines are a human construct. It's something we have to create to feel a sense of safety and organized in the duality world that we reside in. And so for those who I'm teaching and for those who are interested, know that timelines can be utilized in a beneficial way, but you want to be really, really cognizant and aware of how you're introducing timelines and intuitive readings and for intuiting things for yourself. So first off, this is just the God honest truth. Anyone that is a reader, anyone that's intuiting anything, anyone that's a human being, we have a human film over anything that we're reading. We have our biases, our opinions, we have our purpose of why we're readers, our current lessons are bleeding into what we're intuiting as we are intuiting energy. And so you want to have that as a known fact, that everybody that's ever reading for yourself or for another person has their film going all up in that intuitive message. A good reader, and something that you can do on your own, is literally say, I release all biases, all beliefs, I clear them now out of my energy, and then ask the question. What that does is it just, whether the answer is right or wrong, or it's going to be colored, whether it's me right or wrong, or anything, really, you want to do that so you're getting the purest message. Now, the reason why I like to open up the Akashic Records and talk to God is it's going to always tell you the truth. The truth remains consistent. The truth is not malleable. It doesn't move. The truth is the truth. And so when you're receiving truth messages from higher perspectives, it is going to help you embody a frequency and mindset that's going to bring you to in alignment with everything that you're meant to do in this life. And so it's not going to give you timelines. It's going to give you something better. It's going to give you the ability to be whole, to attract the life of your dreams that your soul wants to live. That's number one. Know that that's going to be the easiest stuff to read, and it's going to be the most impactful. Now, that energy is for your spirit, for your heart, and so people who have very strong minds might have a hard time living in that energy and trusting it and kind of just feel at the mercy of like, I don't have any tangible messages here to take action on anything. People who have calmed the mind, that have learned to sit and trust and surrender, when they get those messages, they know what happens. They know what happens if they take action on them or if they sit in that energy and follow through with it. For those who have more of a mental plane, kind of big-minded people that are very much in this world, which we are all in this world, but a lot of highly analytical people have a hard time with just following that information. So what you can do for them is say, And you want to educate them on timelines and how energy operates. Based off of the current energy that I'm feeling and moving into, which, by the way, can change. You can change your mind, you can brush your teeth a different way, and the energy will change around this. This is roughly what I'm sensing on timelines. And you can feel kind of just like the energy in your body, and you can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and you'll feel an upliftment in your body when you're talking to someone about a topic, somewhere between like 6 and 7 months based off of the current energy. And mind you, energy is malleable. It's always moving. It's always changing. And so when you start to know this more and more as a reader, it's very ethical to share with people what energy feels like, how it moves, how it changes, and also share with them how you're getting the information. And you want to believe this about, when you're doing this for yourself, you also want to just remember that energy changes. So the message that you get today could be the most accurate. And then 3 days later, if you ask the same question about the timeline might change. That doesn't mean that your messaging was wrong. It just means that the energy changed. And so when people do premonitions, when people are looking into the future and telling you what's going to happen, what they're doing is they're reading a current energy vein and what its potential is. But if you completely shift, or if I completely shift, and then we read this topic again and it completely goes into a different direction, that does not mean that you were wrong. It just means energy is changing. And so as a reader, for yourself and for others, if you give someone a timeline, it's so important to tell them why you got that timeline. And it's also important to let them know that energy is constantly changing and evolving. And if there is a reader that is reading in the future constantly, and there's things that come true and things that don't come true, what I'm feeling into is they don't understand how energy operates yet. That truth is always constant, that anything that is kind of more of a human context energy, like psychic mediumship, and they're more in that energy has the chance of changing more often, way more often than the truth. And so I like to teach people how to stay up here and how to use that psychic mediumship when it's necessary and when it's helpful for the person. It's so valuable to not impress fear upon people, to not push them into a direction, to have your belief systems bleed into the reading as much as possible, and stay up in truth, and then use psychic mediumship when it's useful. And I use psychic mediumship just to really comfort the person that I'm reading for, and to give them a little bit of a path, but to never push them into, this is what's wrong with you, or this is the timeline, this is what it is, or you're going to meet someone in August. It's like, I'm like, hey, you have the possibility. Energy is possibility. You have the possibility of meeting someone in 6 to 8 months, but who knows, it could happen tomorrow. It could happen today. That's how energy operates. And anyone that is expressing anything opposite or different than that doesn't truly understand how energy operates. And so you can use timelines ethically. You can play with them, but it's important that you're using them in integrity, and remind people that time is a construct. Educate people on what you're experiencing as a reader, and just keep reminding yourself that this is how it is. This is how energy operates when you're reading for yourself. All right, guys, have a beautiful rest of the day. Thank you for joining my Akashic Record Rants. By the way, I don't plan these. I'm just ranting away. And if you want to join any of my memberships or courses, go to the description below, click on the link, and I'll see you there. Bye.